Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate on Friday, June the 16th. We have a full slate of games tonight. I think we have 15 games total. There is one early game today, but we have a 14-game night slate, so plenty of props to choose from, guys. I got two picks I like that I'm going to share with you guys in this video. Two props I'm liking, taking a first look at the board, around 11 a.m. when I'm recording this video. But before we do talk through these two plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos and if they do help you out, please hit that like button down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you are new to Prizepicks, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can sign up. You can use my promo code NOAH. If you look at the bottom of the screen, when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you will get your first deposit match up to $100. So check them out. Take a look at all the player props they have. For tonight's MLB slate, you can take a look at some of the other props they offer as well. Prizepicks does offer just about every sport imaginable, from PGA to WNBA to soccer, Valorant, CSGO. Obviously, we have NFL coming up in a few months. The NBA will be back soon as well. A lot of different sports you can play on Prizepicks. So get over there, guys. Use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. Now, I do want to recap our video or our plays from our last video, which was on Wednesday. I did not make a video for Thursday's slate. It was kind of a smaller slate, and I felt like it was just a good day to kind of take off. I haven't been doing very well with our MLB plays to start the season. We went 0-2 in our last video, so we're 0-4 to start the MLB season. Obviously not ideal, but we're going to stick with it. We're going to just continue to push through it. Obviously, the MLB season is a grind. It's a long season. We're going to be grinding MLB over the next 3 months until we get to NFL. So maybe taking a day off here and there is probably going to be something I do a lot, during the summer. But I still want to try and give you guys, as many videos as I can throughout the week. At least like 4 to 5 videos a week if possible. But last video we took the under on Josiah Gray's pitching outs. That did not work out. Josiah Gray pitched a decent game. He gave up like 4 runs, but he kept his pitch count low. I think he wound up pitching 7 innings. We needed him to go less than 6 innings, and I was feeling pretty good about it after like the first 2 innings. He had thrown like 40 pitches after the first 2 innings. He had given up like a few runs, but he just really settled down. He started to keep his pitch count low, wound up pitching 7 innings. And then we took the over on Clayton Kershaw's fantasy score. Kershaw did not pitch that well, one of his worst starts lately, in a pretty good matchup, I would say, against the White Sox. He pitched 6 innings, got a quality start, but he only had like 4 strikeouts or 3 strikeouts. The strikeouts weren't really there, and with his line being where it was, at 42 and a half, it was going to be hard for him to hit that line without getting at least like 6 or 7 strikeouts, and I think he had like 3 Ks. So that was kind of frustrating to watch. 0-2 in our last video, but we're here for Friday, guys. Hopefully we can finally bounce back, get back on track. And I got 2 props I want to share with you guys for tonight's slate. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be a hitter fantasy score. And you won't see me take hitter props too often in my videos, just because hitter props are a little bit more volatile than others. I think there are certain hitter props, especially when there's like some good value on a certain hitter prop, that are really good to take. But hitter props do carry a little bit more volatility. Even the best hitters can go 0 for 4 any day. But there was a hitter prop that I really like for today, and we're going to talk about Matt Olson's hitter fantasy score. This is at 7.5 on Prizepicks. If you've never done a hitter fantasy score before, if you're not sure how the scoring works, you just click scoring chart right here. Shows you what you get points for. 3 points for a single, 5 for a double, 8 for a triple, 10 for a home run, and then you get 2 for a run, 2 for RBI, 2 for a walk. If you get hit by a pitch, that's 2, and then if you get a stolen base, that's 5. So that's the full scoring chart. That's how hitters are able to rack up points. I was very interested to see Matt Olson have a hitter prop of just 7.5 when he has a hits, runs, RBI prop of 2.5. It's very rare that you see a hitter have a hits, runs, RBIs prop of 2.5 and their hitter fantasy score be only 7.5. If Matt Olson goes over this line, this hits, runs, and RBIs line, at a minimum, he's going to have to get at least 6 fantasy points, because if you get a run, RBI, and maybe another run or another RBI, that's 2 points for each. So that would be 6 points total. Obviously, he could get a hit as well. I was surprised to see him have a 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs line and just a 7.5 fantasy score line. So that's why I kind of like this fantasy score at 7.5. I feel like this line is a little bit too low for Olson. I think this line should probably be like 8.5. It's a really good spot here for the Braves. They're playing at home. They're getting to face Dinelson Lamet. Dinelson Lamet for the Rockies, he's made 3 starts this season. He's been largely pitching out of the bullpen for a large majority of this season. But end of May, he became a starter. He pitched 3 innings against the Diamondbacks, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs across 71 pitches. And then he pitched 3 innings against the Giants, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, pitched 83 pitches. His last start against the Padres was probably his best start of the season, which is not saying much. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, had 3 walks, threw 90 pitches in that one. But his pitch count is rising, so he's pretty much fully stretched out now. And Lamet's probably going to go like 80, 90 pitches here, maybe more if he's pitching well. But this is a spot where I don't really expect him to pitch well. And if you look at the Vegas odds, I mean, Vegas is not expecting Lamet to pitch very well here either. The Braves have a 6.6 implied run total for today, which is by far the highest on the slate. They're expected to put up a lot of runs here. It's a really good spot. They're playing at home in a good hitter's park. The weather's also going to be pretty favorable for hitters. It's going to be hot in Atlanta, 85 degrees. Winds are going to be blowing out to left center. So, with winds blowing out, with the temperatures being high, that usually favors hitters more than pitchers. And given the Braves have a run total near 7, this is a spot where we should expect them to put up some runs. And if you look at Lamet this season, where he has really struggled, it's been with left-handed bats. He's been pretty bad to both sides of the plate, but against lefties, Lamet has really struggled, giving up a 310 ISO, giving up a WOBA over 500 to lefties this season. It is kind of a small sample size. He's only faced 50 lefties, but he's really been getting killed by lefties. Has a high walk rate too, so he lets guys get on base. Strikeout stuff is okay. He's got like a 23% strikeout rate this season, but this Braves lineup is just loaded with power. All these guys make hard contact. There's strikeouts in this Braves lineup, but Lamet's not a guy that really gets a ton of strikeouts, so we should see a lot of balls put in play here, and I think that's one of the reasons you see the Braves have such a high implied run total today. And with Lamet's struggles against lefties this season, with how good Matt Olson's been this year against righties, with how much power he has shown against righties this season, this is a spot that I like quite a bit for him, and I think this 7.5 hitter fantasy score looks pretty intriguing. So that's going to be the first play that we take is Matt Olson, more than 7.5 hitter fantasy score. And then the other play that I like is going to be a pitcher fantasy score. And we're going to go down to Zach Gallen, 31.5 pitcher fantasy score. I like the over here for Zach Gallen. So Zach Gallen, he's been kind of up and down this season. He was looking like the clear, lead, him and Spencer Strider were looking like the top 2 guys for the NL Cy Young. And I think Zach Gallen has kind of fallen off a little bit because he has had some tough starts lately. He really struggled his last start against the Tigers in a matchup you would think he would have success in. He gave up like 5 runs to the Tigers. He did struggle against the Phillies. He gave up I think 3 or 4 runs to the Phillies. Or he only gave up 2 runs against the Phillies, but he only got 3 strikeouts. The last start against Detroit gave up 5 runs. Gave up 5 runs to the Pirates. He's definitely been up and down lately. But if you look at where Gallen has really had success this season, and I said this in one of my previous videos, I don't really look at home and road splits too much. I don't think I don't weight them too heavily. But man, Gallen has been really, really good at home this season. And if you look at his starts at home, his fantasy scores, these are his fantasy score lines in his games at home. 64, 64, 65, 49, 45, 49, and then 34. And in those matchups, he faced the Brewers, the Padres, the Royals, the Marlins, the Giants, the Rockies, and the Braves. So he's had some tougher starts at home this season. The Braves, the Giants are not the easiest matchup. The Padres are definitely not the easiest matchup. I will say that was earlier in the season when the Padres were really struggling. But the Brewers, they have some power. But Gallen, man, he's been really, really good at home this season. He's pitching at home tonight. The matchup against the Guardians is one that, carries some upside, but also carries some risk just because the Guardians are not a team that strike out much, but they also are not a team that, is really good offensively. If you look at the Guardians this season in terms of their rankings against right-handed pitching, I mean, in terms of their power metrics, so slugging, ISO, I mean, the Guardians rank, they have the 3rd worst slugging percentage against righties this season. They rank dead last in ISO. They have the 5th lowest OPS. In terms of batting average, they've been about league average in terms of batting average, but where the Guardians really get to pitchers, where they really make them work is in the strikeout department. The Guardians are not a team that strike out much. So far this season, they've got the 2nd lowest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. So it's going to be a little bit tougher for Gallen to rack up a ton of strikeouts here. I think his K prop for today is set at 5. On the sports books, it's set at 5.5 with juice on the under. So the sports books are not expecting him to get a ton of strikeouts here anyway. But I could definitely see this being a scenario where he pitches like really deep into the game, just because the Guardians, even though they are going to put the ball in play, they don't really make a ton of hard contact. They don't really hit many home runs. So if the Guardians do wind up getting to Gallen here, it's probably going to be just from a bunch of singles and ground ball singles and stuff like that, which obviously can happen, but Gallen is a talented enough pitcher that I think he can get through this Guardians lineup fairly easily. Maybe he can get some strikeouts along the way. Gallen is a really talented pitcher, and he's one of these guys I could see a scenario where he does just come out here and dominate. Not expecting him to go out here and get like 9 or 10 strikeouts, but would I be surprised if Gallen went out there and just started striking out a ton of guys? It wouldn't be surprising to me, even though this is a tough strikeout matchup. But I definitely think he can do a good job limiting damage here. He's been very good at home this season, been very good at limiting runs at home. And I think the Guardians today, I mean, they have one of the lower implied run totals on the slate. They have just a 3.7 implied run total, which I'm pretty sure is like one of the lowest on the slate. So they're not expected to put up many runs here. The Diamondbacks are favored in this game, minus 148 money line favorites. So maybe Gallen, if the Diamondbacks can put up some runs, maybe they can give Gallen some run support. Maybe they can, he can get a win here. If he gets a win, that's 6 additional points. I'm banking on though a quality start, 5-6 strikeouts. Maybe he gives up 1 or 2 runs. If that happens, and maybe a win, I mean, very good shot. He'll finish with more than 31.5 pitcher fantasy score. So really like this spot for Gallen at home, and I think he can definitely have success here, even against a Guardians team that doesn't strike out much. It's also not the strongest lineup, overall. But these are the 2 props I like for today, guys. 2 early props, taking a first look at the board right now. You guys can play these 2 props together as just a 2-pick entry, or you can find some more plays that you like. It is Flex Friday today. Forgot to mention that. Prizepicks is giving us a $20 risk-free flex play. So if you want to run like a 5-pick or a 6-pick flex entry and you want to add these 2 picks, you can do that. Your first flex entry that you do place today is risk-free up to $20. So be sure to take advantage of that promo. Take advantage of all the promos that Prizepicks runs throughout the week. They had some hot dog discounts yesterday. They had Taco Tuesday on Tuesday. They're always running these discounted projections, giving out promos and stuff. If you guys are not signed up for Prizepicks yet, again, sign up, use that promo code NOAH, and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all that I got for tonight, guys. Wish you the best of luck on this slate. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it did help. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.